Well, happy Arbor Day, everyone. I am Jake with the City of North Glen. I'm one of the city foresters here, and today we are looking at picking out a tree from a nursery. This can be a very important aspect in choosing your tree because what happens here is going to affect how the tree will grow at your home. So one of the first things you do is obviously you're going to pick out what species you want and where you want to put it. And then from there, when we come to the nursery to buy a tree, we're going to be looking for what we want in a tree. There are 3 different types of trees that they sell at nurseries. It's bare root, which is a tree with no soil or anything, it's just the bare roots. But they tend to only be here during the early spring because of transportation and water issues, so you really have to watch them. But they will be your lightest tree and they adapt the fastest to most house areas. The next kind of tree we'll be looking for is a container tree. As you can see in these pots, they're pretty light and durable. The big thing with containers is they will end up with some sort of girdling roots, which we will have to cut. And then the third type of trees that they sell are bald and burlap. Those tend to be very heavy, very large. It's best suited for large trees that you're placing in your house, but I would highly recommend a contractor for those kind of trees. I would most recommend a container tree just because of the easeability to plant and move ourselves. So when we are looking at trees, we're going to look at a few things, including size, which can be very important when you're planting. The larger the size doesn't mean the tree is going to be better for you. Size can be very important, and this large of a tree, you can see the container here, it's going to be very heavy. A smaller tree like this one here can be very easily maneuvered by a single person. So then also going with sizes, we're going to try and look at the root ball size. Now when we're looking at trees, we want to make sure that the root ball is going to be large enough, or the container, for the tree to actually have healthy root system and thrive easier in your area. You don't want a tree that's super large in a very small pot. The likelihood of survival is a lot lower and you tend to not have as great a success. A smaller tree in a pot this large would actually take off a lot faster than a tree this size. But this is a very large pot. It is very well adapted for this area, and it's a very good size to begin planting. So one of the most important parts of selecting trees is actually all in the base. For right here, you can see here we have a root flare, and we'll kind of pull out, and we're looking for the first major root to pop out. Right here you can see it's within the top inch of soil, and that's a very good sign. If a tree's roof, if the soil was up to here on the tree, we would have a lot more issues in the future with the tree. You can get rot and other problems with the tree as it grows, and it'll start to actually not take in oxygen because it's too deep and it thinks it's drowning. With the root flare showing right here, this is a great example that this tree was planted right and well taken care of from the nursery. The next kind of thing we're looking for in the roots is any defects. So you're looking down here, you're looking for roots that might have grown up and girdled around the tree, and in the future it'll cause problems of like choking itself out and other issues. It's like wearing the same wristband as a child your whole life. Eventually your arm's going to outgrow it. So what we're really looking for in the aspects of trees is at a nursery, really the root system. Another good way to tell if a tree has defects at a nursery is if we'll push on it and we're looking to see, does the whole root system move? Does the tree bend with it? And as you can tell, the whole system is moving. That's a really good sign. If we were to push it and just this part raised up, it means either it was planted just now or that there's major root issues in the stem of the tree and in the roots, and you just don't want to have that. So once we've inspected the roots, then we'll start to look at the trunk and the crown of the tree. When we are inspecting the trunk of the tree, we're going to look for any damage. You can usually peel this off if you would like. They tend not to worry, they'll rewrap it. But you're looking for any nicks or any sort of issues or rot points that would be visible within the tree, and you're going to inspect all the way up. You don't want a big scar in the base of your tree because that'll be there for life. And also what we're looking for when we inspect a trunk is, this is called apical dominance. It's you're looking for one central leader to really rise up through the tree. With the apical dominance, it allows the tree to grow a lot stronger and a lot faster. And then they also tend not to break in snowstorms and other issues that come with our severe weather that we do have out here. We're also looking for branching structure. So you're looking for branching spacing. You want at least a couple inches in between. You also want to make sure that you have uniformity all the way around the tree. If you only have branches on this side over here, that means they didn't rotate it in the nursery and they had lower expectations for that sort of tree. Canopy issues can be addressed later in life, but root issues are permanent and you'll never know. So if we have a tree and this is the best species here, in the future I will probably be pruning off this branch or this one to avoid this growth and becoming an issue in the future. So by looking around the whole tree, take a look at it from every aspect. You don't want to just look at it from one side. Also, if you're looking for a tree maybe for the side of your house, maybe you want something that doesn't have all the leaves and growth on one side. That'll be easier for you to not have to prune as fast and as frequently. You'll have the tree spread out, and that might be a better solution for you in the long run. So as you are inspecting your tree, obviously this tree has some damage. So right here you can see nicks, you can see cuts inside the bark. These are signs of something you may not want for your tree. If you go back even one more tree, you're not seeing those kind of issues or damage along your tree. So it's important to really inspect the whole tree before you purchase. For the upper canopy, we are looking also at prune cuts. As you can see here, this was a very nice pruning cut. It was right at the bark collar, and it's healing very well. Now, if you look higher up, some of these other cuts are not so nice. They're stubbed off, they're shortening the branches, and it's a sign that maybe you don't want this particular tree. How they prune the tree also shows in the future how your tree will do, and if that's a good nursery. A better nursery will make sure your trees are pruned properly before you choose it. You may have some smaller issues of these smaller branches that'll grow, but those are easily fixable. But we can't fix very bad pruning cuts in the future. So by inspecting the entire tree, we really allow ourselves to have a better, successful species in the future. After you've selected a tree, the next step is to bring it home. When you are bringing it home, it's very important that you also take care on this part. Don't take the highway going 75. Take some of the side back streets. All that air whipping by your truck or your trailer will dry out your root zones and dry out our leaves, or our buds. So your tree will suffer before it even gets to go into the ground. So I highly recommend bringing a tarp, ratchet straps, and making sure that it is covered. One of the nice things about this nursery is they will help wrap your tree, tighten it up, and give it a cover on the upper part. But I would also suggest putting a tarp around the base of the tree just to hold the moisture in the soil.